Hello, I'm Michael Redmond, professional Go player. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to a shape called the snapback. The snapback is a shape, a way of capturing stones that is, not only does it have a catchy name, it happens all the time in strong players' games. So if it doesn't happen all the time in your games, maybe that's just because you didn't recognize the pattern. So that will be remedied easily by watching this video. So to get into it, this position, let's take a look at the shape first. There's some white stones here and some white stones here, and you can see that they are diagonal at this point. So these two white groups are cut off. And the black stones, there's 4 black stones here, which are connected to each other, but they are disconnected with these 3 black stones at the diagonal also. So black is also cut off at this point where the stones are diagonal. So black would like to be able to connect these two groups, and the only immediate way for black to do that would be for black to capture some white stones. Now I'd like to look at this point here, which is being attacked by 3 white stones. White has this shape with 3 stones attacking that mark point. White is ready to capture a black stone that comes in there. So usually this is called the tiger's mouth. And if you stick your hand into the tiger's mouth, you know that your opponent the tiger will bite. And so usually it's a bad idea, but maybe you see it already. In this case, it's an exception to that rule. So to come back to this position, black can throw in here at a point where the black stone is put in Atari. It only has the 1 liberty here. So white can capture the black stone. But after this, the 3 white stones, let's mark 3 white stones. The 3 white stones have only 1 liberty. And black can play in here to capture the 3 stones. So when I say this is a snapback, I often get the image of the tiger biting me and then myself biting back. So if you, that's one way to look at it. Or if you want to use the word snapback in a more calm fashion, you could think that the black stone has snapped back into the position where the previous black stone is. So this is the basic idea of the snapback. It's the fact that when white, although black has played a stone where it can be immediately captured, the act of capturing it fills one of white's liberties and black can capture back. So it is important to remember this original shape, which is the basic pattern of the snapback. Now let's look at it in a slightly different position. Okay, here we are with an example of the snapback on the side of the board. In this position, there's this group of white stones, which seem to be connected. And black seems to be divided into 2 groups. So there's this group on the outside, and this group on the inside. This group on the inside, it doesn't seem to have enough room to make 2 eyes. So this group is in danger, and if you're thinking of the defensive options for black, you might notice that these 2 black stones are diagonal, and black has to worry about white cutting at this point. So it looks like black has a lot of problems to deal with. It turns out that it's very easy to deal with it by playing the snapback. So the position is the shape is very similar to what we were doing before, and black can play here. This black stone is attacked by 3 white stones, and so white can play a move to capture it. But when white captures the black stone, the 4 white stones here have lost a liberty, and they only have 1 liberty left, which is this point where black is going to play now, and black can capture all 4 stones. So this is another example of the snapback, this time on the edge of the board. This is another area on the edge of the board where it will happen quite often. It's a position that can easily happen. Now we have a position in the corner of the board to show how the similar shape can happen in the corner of the board. So in this shape, black is going to try to capture these 2 stones. So we'll assume that this is important to black, and black can do so by playing here, which is a cutting move. This black stone is on the edge of the board. It is being attacked by these two white stones. So white can capture it by playing here. Again, as the previous snapbacks were, this white group of 3 stones is now in Atari. It has lost one of its liberties, and black can play here to capture the 3 stones. Now let's look at another example of the snapback. In this position in the corner, black has a group on the outside, and white also has a group here on the outside. Both of these groups are cut off from the groups inside. So these 2 stones are diagonal and they're cut off by these 2 black stones. And the black stones are cut off also. So we have a group of 4 black stones here, which are cut off from the main black group. And we have a group of 6 white stones here, which are cut off from this white group on the outside. The question is, who's going to capture who first? So, just to go straight to the answer, black will play here to set up a snapback. So this is the snapback tactic, and the pattern is that this black stone is in Atari. It's being attacked by 3 white stones, so white can immediately capture it. But in the act of capturing it, white loses a liberty, and these 5 white stones, now they're in Atari, so black can capture back, snapping back. And now I'd like to show you a slightly amusing shape that can actually happen in games, or at least it's a position where in some cases black has to protect. So in this position I'm going to say, what happens if white cuts here? And how is black going to capture this white stone? And I think the normal reaction would be to try to put it in Atari. So maybe black would try playing here, but this would be a mistake. And the question is why? White has what is called a double snapback. So just to go to the answer now, you can pause the video if you want to find for yourself, but I'll start the answer here. So white plays here, and this is putting both of these groups of black stones in Atari. So these 7 stones are in Atari. White is threatening to play at this point and capture them. And these 2 stones are in Atari also. White is threatening to play here and capture them. The 2 white stones, they both have 1 liberty each, so they're both in Atari. Black has a choice of which white stone black wants to capture. So which shall we start with? If black captures this one, the 3 black stones have lost a liberty, and white can capture back at this point. That kills the whole black group. So let's try it the other way. If black captures on this side, black captured a white stone, but now black has a clump of 8 black stones. It's this group that has only 1 liberty left. So white can snap back and capture the 8 stones. So black is dead in this position. Just to show you the correct answer, black could have avoided that by playing here. And this is a counterintuitive move, where white has played this cut and black is not even putting the stone in Atari. But when black plays here, black has secured an eye in the corner here. And this area with the white stone inside it is black's second eye. So black has a 2-eye shape there. And if white continues by playing here, now black can capture the 2 white stones. And this is not the snapback shape. So this shape, where if black plays here, it's a double snapback. It's a snapback whichever way black plays. Actually, there are some local corner shapes that can develop into this tactic. So it's worth learning. And just to go back to the original pattern here, this is the pattern that you will see most when you're looking for a snapback, where black can throw in here and capture 2 white stones. So that was the snapback, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this.